really, I'm just wanting to welcome you all. Thank you for coming out this morning. I want to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing with the summits each year. This is actually the third summit we've had, and some of you have been coming to the previous summits each year. But in, let's see, we're in 2010. So in 2008, when we had our first summit, the purpose of the first summit was to really, for us to start organizing our community by identifying what are the priority issues that we as Latinos in this state feel are important for our community and our families. The second summit that we had last year, we decided, well, let's make it a little bit more practical. Let's dive deeper into some of the issues that at that time, healthcare was really a priority, education was a priority issue, and we had specific workshops where we were preparing ourselves to understand the issues even more deeply. This year, our summit's a little bit different, but it's building on what we've done in the last two summits, which is this year the workshops and the sessions and the speakers that you're going to be listening to today are actually about preparing us to actually raise our voices. In the previous summits, we've identified our priority issues, we've learned about more deeply what those issues are. Now it's time to start figuring out how are we going to raise our voices on these issues. Now, for those of you who know me, I grew up in this state. I grew up in Yakima. Anyone else here from Eastern Washington? I grew up in Yakima, and I went to school in the state, and I worked in the state, and I'm still raising my own kids in this state. And every year when we do this summit, it gives me a little bit of hope, because I've waited my whole life to sort of see the Latino community in the state start to organize. And I feel like that's what we are doing in this summit. So when Rebecca and John Paul, and as they're leading us through the process, and Madhu, who helped put together the program for today, was to be highly interactive, because like what Rebecca was saying earlier, building the relationships so that we can be more effective together in raising our voices. And this is why what we're doing this year is a little bit different. We partnered with the Latino Civic Alliance, with the Commission, to design this workshops today so that we could be ready for the Hispanic Legislative Day, so that we are more prepared when we go to Olympia this next legislative session, to know what the issues are, to know where we stand on them, know what the legislation is that's going to be introduced, and where we need to raise our voices on those issues. The last thing I just want to mention, that if you haven't gone around through the tables, in case there was anybody who missed the beginning explanation about what this form is for, we're going to have a drawing or a lottery at the end. But if you take this form and you go around to the different tables and collect information, you can check your boxes off and then enter this into the drawing, that there will be some prizes at the end. But one of the things I want to suggest that you make sure you do not leave this room without is a copy of this report, which is over here. The Commission on Hispanic Affairs has put together this report. The reason I want to emphasize and draw your attention to this report is because it's probably the most comprehensive report on issues that are affecting our families and our communities. In order for us to be better prepared for Olympia for the next legislative session, we need to understand the depth and the complexity of the issues. Not only does it explain current research on the issues that we care about, but it gives policy recommendations for us to learn more about as well. So make sure that you get copies of this, take extra copies home, pass them out. There's some in Spanish as well for primarily Spanish-speaking families as well. So make sure you grab a copy of that. But lastly, I also want to echo what Rebecca said. Have fun. We're about having fun. So make sure that you meet folks, meet some new people, talk to some old friends. It's down, as John Paul also said, it's time to get down to business, but let's also have some fun while doing that. Thank you.